Good evening, Healing Place, and welcome to our first ever Overflow. Let me explain, guys, because you're probably like, what is Overflow? Overflow is going to take place every third Wednesday. It's where we highlight extraordinary things that individuals within Healing Place are doing, and we talk about some of the things that are just everyday life. Overflow is also catching the overflow of everything that has transpired throughout the week or throughout the month. So we are excited. Let's give a hand for Overflow. So guys, it's only appropriate today that we start Overflow with our favorite family, the Diggs family. Hi, Diggs family. So guys, here's what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to dive into the subject of what life is like inside the Diggs family household during COVID-19. As you guys know, we've been kind of stuck up, cramped up, can't get out, can't do things that we normally would do. And so we're going to take time to just kind of talk with the Diggs family, see how they're coping with COVID-19, and we got a few surprises for them along the way on today as well. Again, Diggs, welcome. We're so excited to have you guys here. So let's dive right into it, okay? COVID-19, it's been rough, right? We've been in this for almost a year now. I don't think any of us really thought or imagined we would be here this long dealing with it. And you guys seem to be happy and smiling and phenomenal as a family. How have you stayed connected as a family during this pandemic?
I think for us, it's been really focusing on spending family time together, but also respecting everyone's personal time so that we don't, we aren't too crowded together. So we spend a lot of family time together. We're all in the same house. We have Zooms, we have school, we have all this. So when we aren't spending family time and doing our other activities, we're respecting each other's space to just relax and have personal time.
I think one of the things when COVID first started out is we all, like mom and dad, wanted us to focus on like spending time together and taking advantage of the time. So we did restaurant night where each of us would cook a meal. We did game night. But then we also did prayer time together to also strengthen our relationship and grow together spiritually. And then also, like Sarah said, we respect each other's time alone and gave everyone space so we weren't overcrowding everyone.
Oh, wait a second, restaurant night.
Yes, the best night ever.
What kind of meals were we fixing in
We
the Diggs
did
home?
Greek, we did Italian, Asian. It was everything. It was delicious.
Well, everyone, we know that tomorrow we're going over to the Diggs house. Clearly, they have phenomenal meals at that house.
Love that they can cook. Took it off of me.
I don't blame you at all. And you guys are able to take turns, too? That's incredible. So, COVID again, one of the things that Sarah said is so important about how you've been able to come together, but also have respect for each other's private time. Let's get honest and real for a minute. Sometimes being up under each other can be a lot, right? What are some things that you do in order to kind of respect each other's alone space?
Daddy, you want to answer that? You're the best at it.
I love how you go, Daddy.
The introvert is best at it.
So most of the time it depends on what the week's been like with school and stuff. When we have a lot of Zooms that week, or Dad has a lot of meetings, or we have just a ton of school, we normally have a time, once we finish school, maybe after dinner, where everyone just kind of goes to their separate rooms and just basically relaxes by themselves. If the week has been pretty slow, we normally just hang out with each other, and then we're just okay, I'm going to, go to my room and have some alone time and just relax and decompress.
Okay.
It's actually been, sorry.
One thing with me is when we do our alone time, I don't like to be alone, not at all. I like to be around the family. So I'll either go to mom or dad, and I definitely go to Sarah because I know she needs her alone time. Like if I walk in that door, it's not good. I'm not gonna be alive.
I'm a person that I can do weeks upon weeks with people and never get tired. But there's sometimes where, like, everyone kind of just knows when each other needs their, like, space. It's not really like a scheduled thing. It's more of like, okay, or we tell, like, each other, hey, I'm just going to be up in my room kind of chilling out or whatever during, like, when we know everyone's kind of a little on top of each other.
Yeah, we notice sometimes when, it starts to be a little, it's not the normal kind of conversation. It starts getting a little snippy and like, oh, that doesn't sound like, and then you notice another person and then you realize, I think it's just we don't know how to deal with, we haven't had space and our nerves are on edge. And so we got to recognize, hey, okay, everybody needs space. How about everybody go get a book? You go to your room, or maybe you want to sit and we also try to be careful about, them not getting so much screen time so that they can, we don't realize sometimes what we really need and what we don't. So we have to all, even ourselves, it would be easy for me to sit, I'm a movie person, to sit and binge watch something. I have to be careful, with that. But, for me, for Mo, who is an introvert and needs a space, and we've got 3 vivacious and let's just say it's not quiet in the Diggs household now with 2 cats and a dog.
You would have never known.
And y'all know I'm a talker. There's 3 of them back here, so it's like I think the hardest was for you, but you kind of gave the schedule to where it wasn't forced. We thought we're going to give Daddy space and let him have, we have an upstairs area where he can have his office and he would come down for lunch. So it was nice to come down and have lunch with us. And then he started doing tea time. So every time at 3, we looked forward to it. We'd come down or come from our rooms, and he'd come down from having his Zooms and things like that, and he would make tea for us. So I don't know if that's the Canadian-British maybe side. I don't know. So we had tea time.
That's interesting. It's funny, by the way, just a side note, how we've made like Zoom a whole thing. It's now Zooms. We have Zooms now. It's just, who would have ever thought we would have been at this place, right? Pastor Mo, I'm curious because I've heard what everyone else has said, but you're kind of outnumbered for the 1 in the house. So it's interesting. How do you have your moments where, maybe you need man-to-man time with God and you need to kind of pull away from the ladies? How do you handle that?
Well,
that's how they handle it. No!
In our house, it's hard to pull away. That's why I think I love the early mornings while everybody's still sleeping. Yeah. I just get up. I've chosen to do that for a long time, and that's my time with the Lord, and just to prepare for the day. And then another thing I find that if I need it through the day, it's important I communicate that. I can't assume. So the girls will know if I need space. So they know, especially if I'm working on something or I'm feeling a little anxious about something, I'll communicate that to them so they never think it's them. They always know it's not them. It's whatever day is going through or I'm working through or working on.
That's good. What a great life lesson. Just the simple fact that you communicate before you let it get to a place where people can make assumptions and it go into a negative place. I know even for myself, I have to work on, my family knows I'll shut down and get completely quiet, and they're like, oh, no, we better leave Daddy alone. He's not talking at all. So that just helped me just to know, communicate, guys, I need this moment. Guys, we are... Go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the girls are great, too, because I go to bed early because I get up so early, so it's now a joke, like, Daddy, it's your bedtime. Go get your bath and go to bed. So
8:30 every night.
Guys, we are live with the Diggs family on the Overflow. We're just talking about life and COVID-19 and getting some great tips of how we can cope during this time. So, guys, you seem like you have a lot of fun. Walk us through a fun night in the Diggs household.
The the fun nights are when we cook a dinner and then we play a game after. So one of our favorite games to play, which is a really long game, is Monopoly. And when we play Monopoly, that is like competitive, and but like we're all of us are competitive. So all of us trying to play. So the most fun we have is cooking dinners, playing games, just kind of having fun with each other.
And one of the things definitely is when we're playing Monopoly, do not mess with mom. Because she will be like, I got that score.
I think we had like family sleepovers, so we would bring all of our blankets and our mattresses in mom and dad's room, and we would all have a sleepover, stay up all night and everything, watch movies. And, you know, Dad loved that too. We would crowd Dad's bed. He'd be like, yeah.
There is nothing
During
wrong
after his bedtime.
with a dad perhaps sleeping in the middle of a good movie.
Many a night. Many a
I
night.
know for sure. So, Monopoly, competitive, huh? Is that your favorite board game in the house?
Yes. And what do you mean?
Beat the parents.
Oh, yeah, beat the parents, yeah.
We
What is
always
that?
win. We always win.
Beat the parents is like,
A trivia game.
yeah, it's competition. You ask one team questions, and they have to answer it. And if they don't get the answer right, they can't move their little person on the board.
It's trivia, so it's facts
parents
and all this stuff.
They have an ask kids questions, and the kids will ask questions to the parents, but the parents kind of, it helps them know kind of what's going on with the
Oh,
kids.
so this is an actual game. It's not something you created.
Yes.
We are
Yes.
not
Yes.
advertising.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'm
It's
just
actually an
playing.
old game, even though we love it. It's an old game, so we're starting to learn some of the answers.
Oh. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I just couldn't. My family's tried the Monopoly, but after a while, we all get frustrated with how long it's taking for the game. Yeah.
It takes for days, yeah.
So you put
Leave the
games on-
board up. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll take
days.
breaks. If people are starting to get a little like me competitive, and I'm like, you know, or we're starting to argue over something. Okay, game's not fun anymore. Let's take a break. Let's go have a snack. Let's go do something else. And most of the time, Becca will do a stand-up comedian thing. You know, she does. And so we're usually rolling on the floor with that, or by that time, Daddy's getting a little loopy, and so he mixes up his words, and we have fun with that too. So
I'm just gonna say that I win most of the Monopoly games we play. No, it's true. It's true. I take all the good pieces and I put hotels
Is
on
this
them,
the
and I
moment where
win.
we'd say, okay, game's not fun now? It's like,
I'm pretty sure she calculates the numbers wrong. 'cause
let's
I'm
just
pretty
say,
sure
let's just say I put on earplugs by the time it's over.
oh,
Mom really
no.
wants us to buy her some sound absorbent, like soundproof, like noise canceling headphones.
Y'all premenopausal. That
Okay, so we're here with
sorry.
the
Oops.
family. Everyone, we're just
Let's just
keeping
be
it
real.
100% real today. So it's good that you mentioned just pausing when things get a little bit.
No pun intended.
I was trying to move on from that. Yeah, but I think there's a great lesson in the fact that you don't get to the point where you allow it to get out of control. That you can simply say, well, let's just pause and revisit that again and keep the household sane, so to speak, and keep the game godly and friendly and family
Well, we had to
oriented.
work through. We did have to work through some things with that, so that we realized, oh no, that's not us. You
Yeah.
know,
Mom,
and
we
so,
have to get her cotton balls for her ears because she'll literally like be like, okay, guys, we need to take a break or get me some cotton balls for my ears. I need to plug these ears.
Yeah, definitely. Like we had like family nights where everyone just got aggravated. So we were like, okay, maybe next time we should just like stop when we see everyone's tired, because normally we play games late at night. So when everyone's getting tired, and just kind of take a break because we're all pretty competitive.
I hadn't
and
noticed.
something's happened with. I don't know if it's just our household, but something is happening with the bedtime. There used to be a bedtime, but there's not as much. It's like anything
Amen.
before.
Amen.
What is it? 12 o'clock?
No, Mom and
Like,
Dad.
what is going on?
And I'm a night person, but I like my time by myself. So
Mom
he's
and-
the morning, I'm at night, but I actually started getting up a little earlier. not too early so he could have his time, but a little bit earlier before the girls so I could have my quiet time, and I have a little bit at the end because I'm a night person.
Understood. Understood.
No, but now there's a night where mom and dad started putting us on a schedule, so I was used to that schedule. So once I went past it, I was like crying, and I could not go to sleep and everything. And dad was like, "It's okay, don't go to sleep yet. Wait till we get home. Wait till you get in your bed."
Mom and I stay up and watch movies.
Yeah, that's
Not every night.
Not every night, though.
Sounds like some things going on when Dad falls asleep. It's like, guys, we're on the Overflow here with the Diggs family. We're talking about life with COVID-19 and how, as a family, they cope and they deal with those things there. I want to transition to something a little more serious for a moment. We've heard the saying, a family that prays together stays together. Walk us through how you ensure you as a whole family unit your relationship stays with God, and how you stay connected with each other through prayer or maybe devotion time. Walk us through that in the Diggs household.
Saying, Daddy, Daddy. Great question. For us, we're just intentional with making sure we have time together as a family, not making it legalistic or religious, but very intentional where we'll encourage the girls to have their time with the Lord each day. And then throughout the week, we'll come together and a few times a week, and we'll just share what is God saying to us, what did God highlight in your heart, what did God show you in your quiet time, and then we'll just discuss it and share it, and then we'll give time for people that, hey, you want to add anything to it? And one of the things we have found is it's been a cool rhythm because usually there's a theme that God speaks to us, and when you put the pieces together, he gives us a whole picture of something beautiful he's communicating to us as a family. And then we'll have worship nights where we'll just either go in the piano room and play and worship together, and we'll do duets and sing together as well, or we'll put music on that's already been pre-recorded and just worship the Lord. And we'll express our heart in that way. And Lydia, because she's very artistic, so she'll paint her pictures or draw her pictures, and she'll communicate what God's showing her. So that way, for us, it's important that we're just trying to just create an environment where the girls just naturally long to connect with the Lord without all the other extra stuff added to it.
I love the word intentional. Like you have to be intentional as a family to say this is what we're committing to doing. And then everybody get on board with it because we're intentional about our time that we're spending with God. So good.
Yeah, because when Daddy, if we're late with because we'll do family devo every other morning. So when we do it, some people won't be done with their Bible, so Dad will keep putting us time where everyone's able to be there. And sometimes he'll we know we're not to end it that day, so Dad will push it tonight or to another time in the middle of the day. So.
Good.
Lydia's our time or our schedule. She's got a schedule she loves and thrives off a schedule. It's a detail thing. And so we had to learn each other because if we weren't there at 9 o'clock, Daddy said 9. But she was very gracious, and she said, okay, I'll give you 30 more minutes. So she likes to get things done.
That's
But one of the cool things is what he was talking about was that in their homeschool curriculum, it already had some Bible times, but I found, too, that we wanted them to be able to also hear from the Lord before their day. So even if we don't come together every other day, we try not to let a week go by that we're not at least trying to meet especially now. But we tell them, you just go have your regular time with the Lord, and whenever you just share your Devo with us and what got highlighted. And it is amazing how it's just like you said, it almost every time, but we don't worry if it doesn't, but it just seems to just hit on, it's like an opportunity for Holy Spirit to move in your family and them also to hear their hearing from the Lord as well, and hearing from their perspective, because there's no wrong, we literally just let them share, and Mo's very gracious about pulling out what, he hears each one. And then we just pray about that together and then go on. And that really helps set their day. So I actually like Family Devo Day. It's actually exciting. They come down and either they've drawn a picture or they've gotten a word, or some days they don't have a word, and some days they'll say, I just read this verse, and that, it ends up speaking to somebody. And so.
Yeah, I love that we have Family Devo, because you kind of get intimidated at first because, like, everything's, like, so good, and then everyone just comes together and everything. And then also we did, like, in the beginning of the pandemic, we were just all sitting around the table and just all sharing how we felt during the pandemic. And it was nice because even mom and dad, they were sharing that they were, like, feeling the same way, and, like, their struggles of, it wasn't just something that you felt and you felt alone, that we all talked through it together, so you didn't feel like you're the only one going through it.
I love that, Rebecca. I love the idea of parents, children, all sitting down together. And no, it's not just children, tell me how you feel. It's everybody's at the table. Let's all share our hearts. Let's all talk to God together. And yes, dad, mom, just as human as daughters. Daughters just as human as mom and dad. But we can all work on that relationship with God together. That's powerful. Guys, we should mention that it's not Pastor Mo as pastor doing this with the family. It's Mo Diggs as father, being the head and watching the family come together. And as you often say, everyone having a seat at the table. Everyone. I love the drawings, what word did I just say? Drawings. I love that. I love the fact that you have that gift, and each of you just are able to showcase that. So we're really seeing on Sunday what we're seeing in your homes every day. And guys, we should really pause here and just think to ourselves, how can we make sure that we are utilizing this time to talk with God, to spend time with God, so that what people see on special occasions is just an extension of what we've been doing in our homes every single day. Overflow. It becomes an overflow. Oh, I got excited just hearing that. That is awesome. We are here with the Diggs family talking about life with COVID-19. By the way, we're hoping we're talking about it as we're coming out of it, not continuing in it for a long period of time. We need to speak that we're going to be coming out of this thing very soon. Guys, I want to stay on a serious topic for a minute. We're talking about 11 months, almost 12 months, COVID-19. I know, right? A lot of different people have been dealing with a lot of tragedy, a lot of tragic situations, whether that's health or they know someone that's had COVID, or they've received COVID themselves and are trying to work through it, or unfortunately have even lost someone to COVID-19. I want to ask some very specific questions. So I'm going to ask, Pastor, I'm going to ask you a question. Melissa, I'm going to ask you a question. And then girls, I'm going to ask you a question, and you guys can figure out how to deal with it. It's really going to be the same question, though. Pastor Mo, to men who are struggling right now with tragedy, and for a man, that could be, I lost my job. It could be what I could be for ladies, too. But as the head of the house, it weighs heavy. I can't provide the way that I want to. The family member sick, tragedy with death. Speak to the men for a minute. How would you deal with that tragedy, and how do you suggest they deal with it?
I would say encourage the men to find a safe place to talk, find someone they can confide in. That's important. It'd be beautiful with your spouse, but if you feel you don't want to put that kind of pressure on your spouse, find a friend, find a brother or someone to talk to. Reach out. Don't try to go through it alone, because silence is torturous. And when you keep something quiet or hidden, even if it's trauma, it can be deadly. And the other thing I would say to men is you got to give yourself space and room to lament and grieve a loss. So many times we're trying to be so strong for our family that we ourselves don't grieve and lament something. So before we know, it's caught us off guard. And if we can embrace the pain or the sorrow or the tragedy to the point so we can grieve and lament through it and work through it, on the other side of that, whether what anger comes with it, there's levels of dealing with a loss, right? But if we don't embrace it and sit with it and allow the Lord to touch us and reveal to us where he's at in that moment, and then step through that pain, that stuff together with the Lord, we'll get stuck. And life will go on, but we'll get stuck. So I'd say find a brother, find someone you can confide in, but then work through your grief and pain and even lament, and do not lament, because on the other side of lamenting, there is joy and healing and grace.
So good, so good. So Melissa, I'm going to ask you the same question as a woman trying to deal with COVID, the tragedies, some ways maybe carrying a husband who's feeling the burden and trying to lessen that, going through their own loss of job, trying to deal with children and all that they've been going through, tragedy and loss. What would you say to a woman that is going through tragedy, and how would you help them overcome that tragic moment?
Well, I do think it's easy for women to talk, but not all women. Some women do find it harder, and they feel to carry so much and try to keep the weight off their children. And yes, we don't burden our children with things, but at the same time, and if you don't have a spouse in the home, then there's still that lamenting that needs to be done, and whether that's with a friend, whether when I'm feeling overwhelmed, we had several times we had very close friends and we actually have one right now that's going through that we're believing. We've seen some wonderful things happen where there's miracles that's happened with some, and then we've seen some tragedies. And we're going through one right now where the husband has a wife in ICU that, so we're praying for that. And watching the children, to hear all these different things, that they're going through some fears, and what about this and what about that. And we don't have to have all the answers, and I found that to be true, not to put that weight on to try to have an answer, but I know that we can pray, and we know that God does work. But I will say the thing for me is I pray for each situation and ask to hear God in that, because I know I'm not meant to carry all that, but I know I need to get it out. So I think it's the same in a way for men and women, that we do need to be honest in the situation, in our prayer, and we grieve with whoever's going through. I haven't personally gone through him losing a job or anything, so I can't speak to that, but I can speak to that I know the same God that wants to carry it for me, wants to help me walk through things, and he's always so gracious to hear what I have to say, and I can get it out. And if I need to, I can talk to someone, like in our ladies group, our ladies prayer time. A lot of times there is that sharing, or just being honest what we're being hit with, things. So that has been very helpful to find that, and then also talking with the children,
May I add one more thing? As Melissa was talking, this came to me. I thought about my own battle with depression, that whole journey. And one of the things I was grateful for, and I want to say this to the men too, if you're going through, even if it's depression or anything like that, please include your family, include someone, but it would be beautiful if you could include your family. I know that makes you vulnerable to your wife, to your spouse, to your children, and this can be for women too, not just for men. But I know that when I have battled that and I've been able to talk to the girls openly about it, They can pray with dad. They know it's not them. It's just something daddy was going through, has gone through. So as much as you try to protect them, it's wise to protect them so they're not carrying unhealthy loads. There's also something beautiful when you can holistically approach these things together as a family, not try to bear it all in isolation. I want to say that too.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I think some of the strongest lessons that I learned in life was watching my mother and my father and some of the things that they've gone through and the levels of vulnerability that they would gave me lessons that to this day I hold very tight and dear to my heart. That's so good. Girls, so we have young people who are dealing with virtual learning, and maybe they're used to hanging out with friends and doing other stuff, and they're not able to do that anymore. They see the stress from mom and dad. That translates to stress for the children. I think sometimes we forget how much our stress can offload on our children. And they're going through all the things we just mentioned with mom and dad too, the tragedies and people getting sick and all of that. Girls, what would you say to someone your age who's really going through a tough time during COVID-19?
I would just say, don't hold back. It's okay to, grieve when you go through hurt. And also to know that you're, not the only one that's feeling the way you are, with virtual learning, with not, being able to hang out with the friends you want to hang out with. And just to know that you're loved and that, I feel like a lot of times people feel like they're the only one going through this. They feel very lonely and isolated. But to know that, you're not the only one, that there's people like us that love you and that we want to give you a hug when we can't. And just to know that we want to love you. And that's something special. I feel like lots of people want to know that they're loved.
I think definitely remembering that when you go through hard times, stressful times, to just don't focus so much on what you're in right now. I know for me, sometimes I focus on how much stress I'm in right now, or just worrying about things that, yes, times are going to be stressful. Yes, you're going to have stuff like this. You can't go hang out with your friends. You can't go to school and be with your friends in school. But I found for me what worked best is not dwelling in the moment too long. There's a time for you to just grieve and just there's times where you just are like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. But learning that I'm not going to stay here for a long time because that's not going to help me. That's not going to help me mentally, physically. And for me, I've had friends who have gone through tragedies in COVID-19. And for me, I have not experienced someone dying of COVID-19 or stuff, but watching people even have family members not die from COVID-19, but dying within this realm, and you can't go to their funerals, you didn't get to see them. And watching my dad, when his cousin passed away, he couldn't go to her funeral. And so I was just like, even though I don't know, I might not know exactly what you're going through, having someone to talk to is something everyone needs at this time. And I always, when one of my friends went through something, I'm like, hey, I don't know what you're going through. I am so sorry you're having to go through this, but I'm here to talk, whatever. If you need to cry, if you just need this. So always have someone in your life who's just there for you and you can trust to just say, hey, just pray for me right now, please. You don't even have to give all the details.
Yeah, I feel like I should lay on the couch and just let Sarah minister to me right now. I mean, that's some heavy stuff there, Sarah. That is, I love the thought of don't focus too much on where you are. Maybe we should keep our eyes on the prize and where we're going. And if we stop focusing on the tragedy now and look at where we will be at the end of it, that gives us hope and that gives us strength and that gives us encouragement. All right, guys, we are in Overflow here with the Diggs family talking about COVID-19. Guys, we're going to take a moment to enter into some worship, and when we come back, we're going to play a little game with the Diggs family. We're going to see how well they really know each other. And guys, I want you to play online too. So you're going to go on the chat, and when we ask questions, you're going to give us some answers too. But first, let's worship the Lord as we say he's a man of his word, and we'll be right back.
You're a man of your word, God. Yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. You keep your promises. Oh, yeah. All things are possible when we believe. Old chains are breakable when we receive your way. You keep your promises. If you said it, we believe it. If you said it, hey. If you said it, we believe it. Hey. Oh, if you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man of your word. If you said it, we believe it. Hey, hey, oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. Yeah, 'cause you're a man of your word. I know all things are possible when we believe, and old chains are breakable when we receive your way. You keep your promises. If you said it, we believe it. If you said it, hey. If you said it, we believe it. Yeah, yeah. If you said it, we believe it. Yeah. 'Cause you're a man of your word. If you said it, we believe it. Oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man of your word. We have this confidence that you finish what you started. God, you have never failed, and you won't start with me. You're present in every step, and patient in every heartache. God, you have never failed. You won't start with me. Ooh, oh, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, oh. 'Cause if you said it, we believe it. Oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. Hey, 'cause you're a man of your word. If you said it, we believe it. We believe it. We believe it. If you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man of your word. Now we have this confidence that you finish what you started. God, you have never failed, and you won't start with me. You're present in every step, and patient in every heartache. God, you have never failed. You won't start with me. You won't start with me. You never fail. You never fail. 'Cause if you said it, we believe it. Hey. Oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. Yeah. 'Cause you're a man of your word. If you said it, we believe it. If you said it, oh, if you said it, we believe it. If you said it, whoa, if you said it, we believe it. Sing it out if you said it, we believe it. 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 One more time, if you said it, we believe it. If you said it, we believe it. If you said it, we believe it. Oh, if you said it, we believe it. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man of your word. If you said it, we believe it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. If you said it, we believe it. 'Cause you're a man of your word. Oh.
We are back. If he said it, we believe it. God, you are always a man of your word. Such an amazing, amazing confirmation of who God is in our lives. Guys, we are back on the Overflow here with the Diggs family. We are talking COVID-19, and we're going to play a little game. Now, guys, let me preface by saying this. They don't know the questions I'm going to ask. Well, most of them don't. They don't have a single clue. So we're going to get some very honest answers and make some of them nervous. You guys, I want you to be able to answer too. You don't have to just watch. You can actually participate. Go ahead and put in the chat exactly who you think the person is that I am talking about, and you'll understand what that question is in just a minute. So guys, we're going to play How Well Do You Know Each Other? Really simple game. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to give you a moment to think about it. And then on the count of three, I'm going to ask you to shout out your answer. When I ask the question, you're going to think about who in the family it could be that best fits the question I am asking. And then on the count of three, you're going to shout it out. We're going to give our watchers online a chance to play as well. You guys ready? Yes. I don't really think you're ready. Okay.
I'm nervous.
Hey, guys online, are you ready too? All right, let's play How Well Do We Know the Diggs family, or for you guys, how well do you know yourselves? All right, here we go. First question, remember, think about it, and then I'll ask you to answer. First question is this: who is most likely to tell a joke if someone is sad? Who's most likely to, nope, don't answer yet. Who's most likely to tell a joke if someone is sad? I want you to think about it, guys. Are you putting it online? Are you putting it online there? All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Becca doesn't like people being sad, so she tries to make everyone happy. I try and tell a joke, and it backfires on me. So
Is it because it's not funny?
my jokes are always funny.
Sarah will try and make you, like when you're sad, try and make you happy, but it never works out.
Okay. Wow. We're honest here on the Overflow. Hey,
Let's
guys.
just say we say sorry a lot.
Most people online, the majority thought Rebecca. Uh-huh. All right, guys, let's play another one. Here we go. Ready? Who is most organized? Who's most organized? No, don't think about it. Think about it. Guys, play online. Who's most organized? I have my own feelings here, but I'm not going to say yet. I am not going to say. We got it locked in? Yeah. It's hard. Oh, maybe not as easy as we thought. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Hold on, microphone, guys. This mic.
So Lydia and I are probably the two top ones. Lydia, she loves cleaning. I like having everything neat in their place. Like for school, I have like binders for everything within it organized. She just likes everything to be really clean.
I'll categorize.
I'd say
it.
schoolwork is, Sarah is more organized. I mean, she has color-coded everything, and it's got to be artistic and set in space, but Lydia is more like organized with her time.
I'm very clean. Everything's pretty much organized, but I'm pretty like go with the
Wait,
flow.
are you advertising? Are you really trying to say
listen,
you're the best one here?
Listen,
Are you advocating
We
for
teach
yourself?
humility
Really?
and
I am such a clean freak because if I see piece of dust out of place, I will put it back.
So this is funny. Most people online thought you would say Pastor Mo.
He's not okay. Let's preface this. He's the cleanest one out of us. He's a clean freak out of all of us. The toppest one. As far as things organized, he's not messy, not at all. But also, as far as system wise goes, it's definitely me.
A system.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah gets my vote just for talking about a system.
I would say he is at work.
Dad's clean. I'm clean. Lydia's clean.
I'm
Sarah,
dirty.
Sarah
No, I'm
and
just
Mom are organized. There's a difference.
Okay.
Organized, dirty.
Okay.
Daddy's
we got
not
it.
he's clean but not organized because I've put back his bookshelf before, and the next day it's like not.
He has a system that works for him,
That's
and you
'cause
don't
he
want to
reads about
mess
50
with
books
his
a day.
system.
It's okay to have so even in my house, there's a little counter area, and I put stuff on the counter. And to the natural eye, it might look messy, but to my eye, I know where every little thing is. Which every man watching is probably saying, amen. That's my space. All right, guys, here we go. Let's go for another. Everyone's enjoying this. Let's continue, okay? Here's another question. Who's the best cook? Who's the best? I mean, naturally it would be me if I was in your, but outside of you guys, who's the best cook? Okay, think about it for a minute.
We don't need to think about it.
Is
We
there
got to
a
give everybody
category,
online a
though?
chance.
Is there a category? All over cook or baker or?
This is overall.
Okay.
This is a overall. Hey, let's pause for a minute. Did my wife just say online that I'm messy? Thanks a lot.
Way to go, Tanish.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Dad is the best cook of our entire household.
Dad can cook
Even
anything
Dad
from
saying
breakfast. Yes, Dad can cook anything
I
from
am a
breakfast
blessed
to snack
woman.
to dinner to lunch, anything.
Do you notice this is the first answer they all have universally agreed on?
I love that all of them can cook, and I don't have to if I don't want to.
Daddy makes the best chicken parmesan. Just putting it out there.
Order it online.
No,
Order it online.
because I have to do the grocery shopping. Don't.
That's interesting. Everyone's been all over the place with this answer. Well, yes, there was a Rebecca out there. There was a Melissa out there. There was a Sarah out
Okay,
there.
I'm not the best at cooking, I will admit it, but as far as baking goes, I'm the best of our whole
our
family.
baker in the house
Okay,
is
okay.
Sarah. Our fry cook is right there, and over Rebecca, yes. And then Lydia. I mean, she's still learning, but everything she does really
Okay,
well.
I
so.
think I'm second best cook. Yeah, I'm second best cook. I can cook some stuff. I can.
Well, I'm number one when it comes to being hungry.
We're
right
gonna
now,
work on
'cause all of
humility.
This sounds amazing. All right, guys, here we go. Next question. Who is most likely to break out in random song during the day? Oh no. Some of the looks are telling it all. Try not to tell it yet. Think about it for a minute. Who's most likely to break out in random song during the day? Okay, I'm giving you guys online a chance to answer. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
No, Lydia. Sarah. It's between me and Lydia. It's me and Lydia. Between me and Lydia.
All
No.
three of us.
I think this all of them answer.
all
might be the
three
best
of us
one.
never stop singing ever. So there's never a quiet moment in our house. We sing, but we sing loudly on purpose.
Honestly, they'll start out in the middle of school day. I actually have it on video where they didn't know I was doing it, but one will start out in this typical. One will start out singing a song, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you hear in another room the harmony, and then you hear over here another, and next thing you know, it's around, and then.
But
So then
Sarah,
in the middle of it, and I'll have to say, guys, you need to get to your schoolwork. This is beautiful, but this isn't an all-day sing.
By the way, we just learned
Sarah?
that mom randomly records you without you knowing it.
Oh, we know. We just go back and delete the videos.
no, Sarah, she'll hear someone say a word and she'll start busting out singing and just random things.
I have a song for every word.
And Becca, she's just like she'll read something like that and then she'll start singing what she's reading.
I went through this time period where I told everybody I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to sing every word.
We preferred her talking.
We knew that wasn't allowed.
Oh, boo. Guys, by the way, everyone thought Lydia would be the one to just randomly
I can
sing
see how
it.
that would.
Actually, she's the one to randomly get on the piano. She will go and sit down and play. Becca will get down and play and sing, but it's every day we hear Lydia, not during her normal practice time. It's when she'll just sit down and play for hours, and then she'll do that even when, we've had family, and it's like,
I'm just going to
Sit down.
expose you, Sarah. Sarah sings opera in the house.
She's,
all right,
she
let's
said
not
She's
tell
not a
everything.
trained
posing
professional.
you.
Let's not throw her sister under the bus.
It's not good opera.
All right, guys, let's go to another question. This one is just, almost everyone should be able to get this one right, but let's ask. Who is the most avid reader in the house? The person that just loves books, reads books
Can there be
beyond
2 answers?
Ooh, maybe not as cut and dry as we all thought. Think about it for a minute. Guys, answer online. Who do you think is the most avid reader inside the Diggs home? Yeah, I could see the 1 and 2, and some people online are saying it too. I agree with you, by the way, online. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Sarah, Daddy!
Sarah reads more than Dad.
Sarah, but Daddy likes to read like.
So I inherited my love of reading from Dad, but I recently got a new.
Such disdain. when
I
you said
recently
it,
got
isn't it?
a new bookshelf, and it's already full, and I already ordered things. So reading is like my favorite thing to do ever.
I think
Sound
that
like
was
my
the
daughter.
thing for her was
My
when the
goodness.
library shut down, and
That was sad. That
it
was,
was
and I had
sad. So
already
when it
read
opened
almost
back
every
up,
book.
we were there. I knew the lady that was waiting outside at the book table was just like, "Yep, I know them." They we kept getting
No.
books and books and books. And
I will ask Sarah to come and sit in my room and like do something, but she's like, "No, I can't leave my room. My bookshelf's in there, and I have to finish my books." I'm like,
Okay, choosing books over the sister. Mind you, Sarah goes through. So Daddy, they both read a lot, but Dad goes through books very slowly. Like he takes his time. Sarah, you'll see her with like 3 books in her hand, and we'll be like, Sarah, books are
Oh, my
always.
goodness. This is sounding very
we were like,
familiar,
Sarah,
by the
that's
way.
we were like, Sarah, that's a huge book, and you have to return to the library soon. She's like, oh, I'm gonna finish it in 1 day. Literally, 1 day she finished that book.
Yeah.
yeah, we still have books on the floor. I bought him a bookshelf, and just because I got tired, an extra one because there was a pile next to the couch where he sits, and then the next thing you know, that one is like, I mean, it was 2 layered, like, on one shelf, there's boom, boom, because I would just find books, and So I was like, okay, we got to get another one. Now in our bedroom against the wall and other places, I'm like, oh, I need like 4 more bookshelves. And then Sarah, her literally wants to turn her room into a library. So I'm
I
happy about that
actually
as a
brought a book
homeschool
tonight
teacher.
in my
I'm happy, but
I brought a book tonight in my purse.
yes, literally when she did soccer, she had an Augustus Caesar book that was like, what was it? It was like this thick.
It was really
And I said,
thick.
please don't bring that to the soccer practice. These parents are gonna think that I made you do your schoolwork at the, it's like, but I want to. I mean, she was literally about to cry. And I said, okay, bring it. Just please tell everybody my mom's not making me read this. My mom's not making me read this.
I only read school books, and if I do read other like books, it's comic books.
I like
She's more like me.
historical fiction books. That's the only ones I'll read. But Sarah, on the other hand, can read any book and not get bored of it. I'm like, she'll read it 100 times.
I love books.
Yes, we've established that one. By the way, online, it was kind of mixed here. Some said it was just Pastor Mo. Others said it was Sarah and Pastor Mo. So very good there. I just, the real book lover that can read a page and make it come to life in their mind is just amazing to me, because when I'm reading, I'm trying to stay awake.
Daddy has the
I
most
am-
Bibles, but she has the most books.
All right, guys. One last question. All right, here we go. This one might be a little easy, too. Who is the most artistic person in the family? Who's the most artistic person in the Diggs family? All right, you guys. Are you guys answering online? Some of these online answers are interesting. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Mom!
Mom, can I say something?
Wait, Mom is the most artistic because she'll take anything from the house and start painting it.
No. Mom loves
That's about
DIYs.
true. That's how I've coped.
Mom loves
I've
DIYs.
painted things I've had to look at 15 times. That's going to be a different color.
Okay, so what people don't know is that is a super good color. Mom is a great drawer. Lydia is a great painter, and Sarah can, by far, she's really good at engineering. She can build anything and do anything, and she helps. But I'm the person who helps. I don't bring the thing to
advocating
life.
for yourself.
I don't bring the thing to life because that's not my gift, but I will, I have the vision of it. They have to,
Rebecca would be most likely to be a talk show host in
She-
the Diggs family.
I will tell
She's
you,
vlogged since she was
Becca-
like 4 years old. I mean, just done vlogging and stuff. But when it
Wow.
came to art time during that, now she's doing really good at art. She didn't think she had it. I was like, just keep trying. But she'd be like almost crying and during art time where the other girls were like, look what I did. I whipped this out.
Lexi, she's
But
good
now
at,
she's really good at it.
Wow.
she's good at drawing and all that stuff. She can sketch and stuff. But when it comes to putting things together, she can take a glue gun and stick some paper together.
Okay, so Becca she has great ideas. Like if she tells you what she envisions and then you do it, it's like it comes out amazing. She just has a hard time doing it herself. Lydia is by far the most artistic out of our whole family, and she's really good at it too. She just loves doing, anytime you go upstairs to her room, you just see her pictures, her paintings. I mean, we've all got tons of copies of her stuff.
Yeah, and I think we've seen where God definitely feels your artistic ability and fills it with his voice. We've seen that as well, too. That's absolutely glue stick and a sheet of paper. Really?
I might have glued my fingers together, but everything is fine.
Let's just say we hid the Gorilla Glue.
Oh, my goodness. Guys, can you, by the way, most people thought it was Lydia online. Rebecca, someone voted for you, but then they said they wanted to change their answer. So. Sorry. Guys, it has really been an honor to just talk with you and see some of the things that you do with COVID-19 and how you stay together as a family. Incredible. Guys, it really doesn't matter whether you have a family of 5 or if you are single in the home. The point is to use this time not to be discouraged or to feel beaten down or even to allow yourself to perhaps slip into depression, but to take this opportunity to focus on God, to focus on spending time with Him, to be intentional. We learned that one tonight about everything that's taking place, and to make sure we don't just stay in those bad places, but when we find ourselves there, that we look to the future and we move beyond and we move forward in Jesus' name. It's incredible to have you guys. I hope everybody online feels like they know the Diggs family just a little bit better. No, it's been great. So we'll just say God bless you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Overflow, and we look forward to seeing you this Sunday for an amazing word from the Lord. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.